Okay, good afternoon everyone. We are again present here today for the pre-bid conference for civil works under invitation to bid number 2024-021. It consists of 2 contracts. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order number 06 series of 2024, which direct us to stream activities like this for accountability and transparency of procurement processes. Before we proceed, we request the Secretariat to please acknowledge those who are present here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Our attendees for today's activity, pre-bid conference for civil works for 2nd District Engineering Office. We have here the back members, starting with our chairperson, Engineer Edwin Elenco.
Present.
Vice Chairperson, Engineer Lorna Biondin.
Present.
Regular Member, Engineer Leslie Benigno.
Present.
Provisional Member, Engineer Ernesto D. Taylor Jr.
Present.
From the back Secretariat, we have the Acting Head, Engineer Arthur Noel Taylor.
Present.
Back Secretariat Member, Ms. Gerlie Duvigarde.
Present.
From the TWG, we have Engineer Maylando M. Apolinaria.
Present.
From the Planning and Design section, we have Engineer Sweetie Faye S. Aiko.
Present.
And we would also like to acknowledge our viewers via YouTube. Good afternoon and welcome. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Since with the majority of the back members present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. We have a first agenda. 1. The presentation. 1A. Basic contracting ka. 1B. Requirements of bidding documents. 1C. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1D. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check. 2. Questions, comments from bidders and replies of back and the representatives of procuring entity. 3. Other matters. The strike policy. 4. Summary of proceedings including supplemental bid bulletin to be issued. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move to adopt the present agenda. I second the motion.
Moved by Engineer Ruben and seconded by Chairman Dito. What with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. Okay, the first in the order of business is the presentation. 1A, the basic contract data. And this will be presented to us by Engineer Sweetie Aiko from the Planning and Design section.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
For the first project, the contract name, Asset Preservation, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, Upgrading of Damaged Paved Roads, Benigno S. Aquino Jr. National Highway, kilometer 1422 plus 204 to kilometer 1425 plus 000. Contract ID number 24LI0125. Location, Compostela, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, reconstruction of roads. Width 6.70 meters and 300 mm thick. Lane 1 and Lane 4 for kilometer 1422 plus 204 to kilometer 1425 plus 000 as per RBA. Lane 3 and Lane 4 for kilometer 1422 plus 149 to kilometer 1424 plus 946 with a total length of 2,797 meters as per plan. Construction of paved shoulder 150 mm thick. Installation of metal guardrails including concrete post with metal beam and piece. Application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. Application of reflectorized thermoplastic crumple strips. Construction of off-carriageway turnout. Installation of warning signs, regulatory signs and hazard markers, chevron signs. Installation of solar LED street light with double-armed steel posts. Kilometer 1422 plus 204 to kilometer 1425 plus 000 as per RDA. Kilometer 1422 plus 149 to kilometer 1424 plus 946 as per plan. Drainage construction. Construction of concrete lined canal. Kilometer 1422 plus 204 to kilometer 1424 plus 253 as per RBF, intermittent section. Kilometer 1422 plus 149 plus to kilometer 1424 plus 217.274 with a total length of 3,816.158 meters as per plan. Left side and right side intermittent section. Approved budget for the contract, 108,562,500 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA 001. Contract duration, 254 calendar days including 93 unworkable days. Size range, medium A. License category B and cost of B documents, 50,000 pesos. For the second project with a contract name, Asset Preservation, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, Upgrading of Damaged Paved Roads, Benigno S. Aquino Jr. National Highway, kilometer 1414 plus 267 to kilometer 1414 309. Kilometer 1414 plus 837 to kilometer 1414 plus 847. At kilometer 1417 plus 000 to kilometer 1422 plus 204. Contract ID number 24LI0126. Location, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, reconstruction of road with 6.70 meters and 300 mm thick. Lane 1 for kilometer 1414 plus 267 to kilometer 1414 plus 294 as per RBF. Kilometer 1414 plus 267 to kilometer 1414 plus 294 with a total length of 27 meters as per plan. Lane 1, Lane 2, Lane 3, and Lane 4 for kilometer 1414 plus 294 to kilometer 1414 plus 305 as per RBF. Kilometer 1414 plus 294 to kilometer 1414 plus 304.5 with a total length of 10.5 meters as per plan. Lane 3 and Lane 4 for kilometer 1417 plus 000 to kilometer 1422 plus 204 as per RBF. Kilometer 1417 plus 000 to kilometer 1422 plus 149 with a total length of 5,149 meters as per plan. Reconstruction of approach slab, abutment A. Lane 1, Lane 2, Lane 3, Lane 4 for kilometer 1414 plus 305 to kilometer 1414 plus 309 as per RBF. Kilometer 1414 plus 304.5 to kilometer 1414 plus 309 with a total length of 4.5 meters as per plan. Installation of solar LED street light with double arm steel post. Kilometer 1417 plus 000 to kilometer 1422 plus 204 as per RBF. Kilometer 1417 plus 000 to kilometer 1422 plus 149 with a total length of 64 meters as per plan. Drainage construction. Construction of RCBC 6 meters by 2 meters by 25.10 meters. Lane 1 to Lane 6 from kilometer 1414 plus 837 to kilometer 1414 plus 847 as per RBF, intermittent section. Kilometer 1414 plus 837 to kilometer 1414 plus 847 with a total of 10 meters as per plan, intermittent section. Construction of paved shoulder 150 mm thick. Construction of slope protection, grouted riprap. Installation of hazard markers, chevron signs. Application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. Installation of warning signs and regulatory signs. Removal of structures and obstruction, concrete approach slab. Installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal beam and piece. Construction of turnout and sidewalk. Construction of concrete line canal. 1421 plus 330 to kilometer 1422 plus 204 as per RBF. kilometer 1421 plus 280 to kilometer 1422 plus 149 with a total length of 1,690 meters as per plan, left side and right side. Approved budget for the contract, 144,750,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA 001. Contract duration, 381 calendar days including 97 unworkable days. Size range, medium A, license category B, and cost of B documents 50,000 pesos. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you for your explanation of the projects to be procured by interested bidder. Next in order of business is the requirements of bidding documents, and this will be discussed to us by Engineer Arthur Morelor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents: instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of the contract, special conditions of the contract, bill of quantities, drawings and specifications, securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially in the instruction to bidders and general conditions of the contract. Those special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantity so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge on the projects and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. That's all.
Okay, thank you for discussing these documents. Next in the order of business is the 1C, documents to be submitted by the bidders, and will be discussed to us by Gardi.
Sir, good day everyone, especially for the viewers via YouTube channel. For the submission of the bidding documents to be included by the interested bidders, the technical component of the bid, Belgium certificate, if not enrolled in the CWA, pickup license and registration, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, SLCC, FCC computation, a statement of total assets and liabilities, joint venture agreements if applicable. If already enrolled in the CWA, CWR, the eligibility documents to be updated, if any, the bid security, project requirements such as the organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' key personnel, list of major equipment, owned or leased, and omnibus source statement in the prescribed format in accordance to the GPP Basic Resolution 16/2020. And for the financial component of the bid, which composed of the bid form, bid prices and the bill of quantities, the detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and the cash flow by quarter. Please be reminded the following documents: omnibus source statement, bid form, and bid security declaration, if you opted to use this type of security, should be in the standard format as per guidelines of the Government Procurement Policy Board in the Resolution 16/2020. And kindly check the format you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for using of unprescribed format. This document should be submitted using the 2-envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the document at the topmost portion instead of hard or soft binding them. Each document should be ear-tagged appropriately. It should be labeled based on the name of the document attached, not on the numbers or letter according to the checklist. There should be 3 copies of this document: the original copy, the copy 1, and copy 2. The original copy of the technical component of the bid shall be sealed on 1 envelope, and This envelope should be labeled as original copy of the technical component and original copy of the financial component. So, sealing of the financial and the technical component will be the same. It should be separated on the envelopes. This labeled envelope should be labeled as original copy of the technical component and original copy of the financial component. This labeled envelope should be then sealed into one final envelope and labeled as original copy of the bid. The same process of the sealing for copies 1 and 2. And lastly, original copies 1 and 2 of the bid shall be sealed into final envelope and labeled it appropriately as instructed in the bidding document. Bidders are encouraged to read Section 21 of the Instruction to Bidders, page 40, to fully understand the sealing and markings of the bid in case you did not catch up for what I have said. And submit your bids personally here in our office on or before September 17, 2024 at 10 a.m. And you also have the option to submit your bids electronically. Preparation of the technical and financial document of the bid are outlined in the Department Order 87, Series of 2020. The sealing and marking of the bids is also outlined in the said DEO and is reiterated on the bid sheet. Interested bidders are advised to read this in case your choice is the electronic submission. Submit electronic bids to electronicbids_Davao de Oro 2 at DPWH.gov.ph on or before the Sunday, September 17, 2024, before 10 a.m. Please be reminded that your key personnel should occupy one position in your organizational chart. The duplications of functions of your personnel will be banned for disqualification pursuant to the principle of item number 6 under Department Order number 9, Series of 2012. And we may request you to please indicate your tax identification number since this will be used in the awarding of contracts. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, we request you to please write legibly. And also, if you are offering a discount on your bid form, please indicate specifically the methodology as to where or which pay item the discount will take effect. Absence of the methodology, original amount will prevail. Discrepancies between the bid prices and in words and in figure, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing, filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, such as in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. We request you to please always check your document before submitting the same and to avoid disqualification of your firm. That will be all, sir.
Okay, thank you. Also, prospective bidders, especially the detailed estimates, especially the indirect costs, must have OCM, overhead, contingencies, miscellaneous, contractor's profit, and VAT, because it is important, especially in the construction, no? During mag-away kami ng various or extra work is needed, no? And also, in bill of quantities, be sure yung liter na yung use nyo, Tahoma 11, yung liter, para mababasa naman, no? About sa quantities. In addition, remind the bidders to submit 3 names through email prior to the bidding date. However, only one of these 3 names will be able to enter our premises during the bidding activity. So, encourage kung hindi ko mag-wear ng ID, kung determine din, no? Next in order of business is the 1D, the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, and this will be explained to us by Engineer Milano Aquino.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good day, everyone. The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 23 of the revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have an updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents, and Class B documents if applicable. These documents were already discussed a while ago. During the opening of bids, the first envelope, which contains the technical component of the bid, shall be opened. After opening the first envelope, the back shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who are eligible to participate because their eligibility documents are not updated shall undergo manual eligibility check based on the submitted eligibility documents. If found to be eligible and at the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will also be opened. However, the committee will conduct a second electronic eligibility check after updating the eligibility records of the bidder through the contractor's profile application or through Procurement Service Central Office. Result of the latest electronic eligibility processing shall prevail over the manual eligibility evaluation. All open financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amounts stated in the bid form. The back shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the first, completeness of the bid, and second, arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents pursuant to Section 34 of the Procurement Law. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest single calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid, ranked during bid evaluation stage. Also, bidders with ongoing contracts should be reminded that the committee will verify if you have existing delayed contract per Department Order Number 127 Series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. If you have incurred negative slippage as defined in the said DEO or currently being imposed with liquidated damages, you should settle these findings before the period of post-qualification ends to avoid post-disqualification of your firm. Also, all requirements set forth in the bidding documents and the instructions relayed during this conference should be addressed and be well taken care of to avoid disqualification or post-disqualification. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you for the discussion. We are now through with Agenda 1 and we will proceed to Agenda 2. About
And
the
also, for the equipment verification, for the continuation, the back, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DO number 127 series of 2018. As part of the post-qualification, the equipment verification team will conduct an inspection and the verification of the equipment pledged by the bidder, including other documents to be evaluated. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, additional pa yun, no? Bago tayo mag-proceed to 2. Okay. Number 2, questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. If there are no questions, now we'll proceed to agenda 3, the other matters. This strike policy against violation of section 69.1.I of LIA or of RA 9184, and this will be discussed to us by Engineer Mr. Tero Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good day, everyone. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offences committed by the bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, hereby introduces an updated 3-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69, I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, IRR of the Republic Act, RA 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offences, acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offences acts are further classified into 3 major categories as enumerated in DEO 28 series of 2024. Classification of offences that triggers the 3-strike policy and exceptions. First, withdrawal from bidding process, submission of non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee but recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. If upon computation prior to bid submission, the bidder determines that their proposed bid price will exceed the approved budget for the contract, ABC, to substantiate this, the bidder must provide evidence. Acceptable proof includes, but not limited to, a detailed budget estimation or a market price report. Number 2, submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and avoidable internal events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. Number 3, submission of patently insufficient bid. Patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. Letter A, during eligibility screening or shortlisting. I, submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilGEPS, registration, platinum membership, or a certificate of PhilGEPS certification containing expired class. A, legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening. Number 2, failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae in the application for eligibility. Letter B, during bid evaluation. Number 1, failure to submit required bid forms as outlined in Annex C, detailing the complete list of required bid forms. Number 2, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms as per Annex C, outlining the mandatory provisions of the required forms. Number 3, submission of an notarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement and joint venture agreement or statement from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procurement entity, PE, or of the bidder. Number 4, submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture GBE without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Number 5, nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Number 6, failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of the pledged equipment. Number 7, failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Number 8, failure to comply the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding documents. Letter C, during post-qualification, participation in bidding for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract cost ARCC as indicated on the pickup license that does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure projects being bid for in terms of category, classifications, and size ranges. The enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if the 3 offenses are of a similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities, and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses, instances where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1 year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years applicable will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date of blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So, prospective bidders, be careful. Read instruction, understand and comply to avoid the 3-strike policy. Okay, we now proceed to the last agenda, the summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Wesley Benigno.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All the needed information were discussed and explained by the resource persons. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PhilJobs websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereafter. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids on or before September 17, 10 a.m.
bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening will be on September 17, 2024, 10:15 a.m. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Also, awareness and information to the contractors, the leaders, about the Department Order number 148, series of 2024, guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultant project engineers. And it is will effect na, no? It will start on July 1, 2024. And it is we need requirements during the bidding process. Kaya pina-inform na kayo, no? Nag-start na on July 1, 2024. And also the Department Order number 110 series of 2024 na implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirements for large A, medium B, and medium A, contractors and procurement projects of the department. And also large A, more than 300 million but less than 415 million. The effectivity is January 1, 2025. Medium B, more than 150 million but less than 300 million. And effectivity is July 1, 2025. Medium A, more than 30 million but less than 150 million. Effectivity is January 1, 2026. Okay, so contractors, bidders, no? Kailangan na ISO to na ma-require ninyo ito. Is need. Okay. There is no all of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I hope to adjourn this conference.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Bonito and seconded by Engineer Tero. And with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you and good day.